Now we've spoken a lot about EAT signals. We've spoken about Google search. We've spoken about what publishers should do. Now there's an interesting thing that's also changing in the mix is search generative experience. Like Google is bringing in search generative experience, and well, from the look of things, it's going to revolutionize the way people search. So what is the Google search experience, and how does it affect digital publishers?
So SG in its simplest form is Google opening its arms to generative AI. They are literally saying that okay, hey, generative AI is here. There's a new generation coming out. There's different technologies being adopted, be it in search or the way people work. And again, a much more simpler explanation is Bard launched the Chat GPT integration. It just blew everything out of scope, and Google needed something to actually capture the hype, be a part, because at that point Bing achieved so much of the publicity, and Google was at a very back foot where they didn't have any existence as such at that point. They didn't publicly talk a lot about generative AI. So, which is why SG was a very critical, very hasty experiment initially. Again, we have seen a lot of cases gone wrong for SGE. Even we have seen it for Bard. So none of it is actually foolproof. But yeah, over time, it's getting a lot more better, more conversational. It's learning a lot. So there's definite room for improvement. And if you ask me about what does it mean for you as a publisher, it's actually too soon to tell the impact of SGE on a site's performance, especially because SGE doesn't get triggered for every type of a query. And since it's also started now in India, they have rolled out the beta version after the US launch. They have also come to India now, and we like all of us can actually test it out, experiment with it, see how it converse with us a lot more in the longer time. But the challenge here is that as a publisher, especially, you'll see a lot of times SG doesn't get triggered if you are searching in a new space or a little bit about something that is more topical at that point in time. But for publishers who are more on the informational side, who are probably a little niche, who are more on the let's say travel or product recommendation side, a lot of these publishers are seeing multitude of effects over here. Some are seeing gains in terms of visibility, traffic, but a lot of them are still in a very spiky zone where there's no clear pathway on how do they navigate in terms of SG. But if we wanted to summarize, like what should they do in the longer term, one thing they can definitely do is make their content more conversational in nature. Keep it more in terms of your opinions, your thoughts on certain events, certain products. Make it more unique, insight driven, and try to make it very clear in terms of how you're communicating with your audience. So this is more of a branding play that will help publishers in the longer time as well.
Okay, so as of now, it does not look like SG, at least for say breaking news and stuff. It's unlikely to affect it, but yeah, I've already seen like seeing some changes there for say best XYZ. Where you're searching for those. I would say it kind of looks like an evolved form of zero click search, wherein a reader might, or someone who's searching on Google search might just get the answer right at the search page itself instead of going to the publisher. Earlier on, I'd seen that there was this issue with Google not really mentioning where the information came from, but I think they have changed that. So I think there was some gap there with respect to authority itself, because hey, Google is presenting you with the information, but you are not sure of where it's coming from. So I think they've fixed that. So that's interesting.